Hello, and welcome to iChan News. This video allows you to listen to 10 real-world news stories and online reactions in English. Today, we will cover the following topics: Goldman Sachs to acquire Burger King's Japan business, NHK to strengthen collection from unpaid fee holders, establishes new civil procedure unit, Japan sees worst year on record for bear attacks, recruit to terminate Zexi and Musubi matchmaking services, Crayon Shinchan movie release postponed in China, Leonid meteor shower reaches its peak, Sakana AI raises 20 billion yen in Series B funding, Japan's GDP shrinks for first time in 6 quarters amid high prices and US tariffs, new law to combat customer harassment to take effect in October 2026, N Party's sole diet member, Yoshitaka Saito, announces departure from party. First, I will present 10 real news stories in English. I will then introduce excerpts from message boards and social media in Japan and abroad that show online reactions to the news. At the end of the video, I will explain key phrases used in the news with example sentences. Now, let's get started. Our first topic is Goldman Sachs to acquire Burger King's Japan business. It was revealed on November 17, 2025, that the major U.S. financial firm Goldman Sachs is set to acquire the Japanese operations of the hamburger chain Burger King. The acquisition price is estimated to be around 70 billion yen. The current owner of Burger King's Japan business is Affinity Equity Partners, a Hong Kong-based investment fund. Affinity acquired the business in 2017. Under Affinity's ownership, Burger King Japan has successfully expanded its presence by increasing its store count and sales, focusing on its signature Whopper burger, which is grilled over an open flame. As of the end of October 2025, there are approximately 230 Burger King locations throughout Japan. It has been reported that Affinity has granted Goldman Sachs exclusive negotiation rights for the sale. An acquisition is expected to be finalized by the end of the year. Goldman Sachs aims to leverage its expertise and investment capabilities in the food and beverage sector to further support the business's growth. This deal highlights the high potential and attractiveness of the Japanese fast food market, even for foreign investment firms, and indicates a strategy to accelerate expansion and strengthen Burger King's brand position against competitors. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Seibu Shoji, JT, Latte, Japan, and Revamp. Lotteria, Korea, Affinity Equity Partners, Hong Kong, Goldman Sachs, new.
I wondered what would happen to the new shop near me, but doesn't look like that's the story.
Huh? Didn't BK's parent change not that long ago?
The next topic is NHK to strengthen collection from unpaid fee holders, establishes new civil procedure unit. Japan's public broadcaster, NHK, has announced it will intensify its efforts to collect unpaid broadcasting fees. To achieve this, the organization is establishing a new department named the Receiving Fee Special Measures Center. This center will specialize in handling civil procedures to demand payment from households and businesses that have contracts but have failed to pay their fees. The goal is to ensure fairness in the fee collection system. According to NHK, the new center plans to issue payment demands at a rate more than 10 times higher in the second half of this fiscal year compared to the entire previous fiscal year. This move follows a revision of the Broadcasting Act in April 2023. The revised law allows NHK to charge a penalty twice the regular fee to those who do not sign up for a contract by the deadline without a valid reason. NHK has already started applying this penalty system and has filed civil lawsuits in some cases. However, NHK has stated it does not intend to sue all of the estimated 9 million households that have not yet signed contracts. The broadcaster's official stance is that the receiving fee is not a payment for watching programs, but a special financial contribution necessary to operate the public broadcasting system. NHK explains that it will continue to communicate its position through documents, phone calls, and visits. Legal action through the courts is considered a final resort after all other communication efforts have been made. The statute of limitations for the collection of receiving fees is 5 years. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
If NHK moved to scrambling, they wouldn't waste resources on lawsuits.
Today's target is households and businesses that signed contracts but fell behind on payments.
Because of the NHK contract rule, young people seriously don't keep TVs anymore.
The next topic is Japan sees worst year on record for bear attacks. Japan is currently experiencing an unprecedented surge in bear attacks, with figures for 2025 reaching the worst levels since statistics were first recorded. According to a report from the Ministry of the Environment, the number of people attacked by bears between April and the end of October has climbed to 196 in 176 separate incidents. This is the highest number ever recorded for this period. Furthermore, the number of fatalities has also reached a record high, with 13 people having lost their lives as of November 3rd. This alarming pace suggests the annual total will likely surpass the previous record of 219 casualties set in 2023. Experts point to a widespread failure of the beechnut crop, a primary food source for bears, as the main driver behind this increase. The severe food shortage in the mountains is forcing bears to descend into populated areas in search of sustenance. They are often drawn to residential areas by persimmons, chestnuts, and improperly disposed of food waste. Other contributing factors include record low snowfall, which allows bears to be active for longer periods, and a growing number of bears that have become habituated to humans and no longer fear them. A notable trend in 2025 has been the increase in bear sightings and attacks in urban areas, starting from early spring, prompting local governments to issue emergency warnings and urge citizens to take maximum precautions. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
I love animals, but past bear attacks were terrifying. People underestimate bears way too much.
Media keeps blaming bears, but the problem is us humans too.
The next topic is Recruit to terminate Zexi and Musubi matchmaking services. Recruit Company Limited, a major Japanese human resources company, has announced the termination of its matchmaking services, Zexi and Musubi and Zexi and Musubi Agent. The company cited changes in the business environment and a comprehensive review of service usage as the reasons for this decision. Zexi and Musubi, an online dating and matchmaking platform launched in 2015, will stop accepting new member registrations for paid plans on November 26, 2025. The service is scheduled to be completely discontinued on May 31, 2026. Similarly, Zexi and Musubi Agent, a marriage consultation service that began in 2016 and offers personalized support, will also cease new member registrations and free consultations on November 26, 2025, with a full shutdown planned for May 31, 2026. The Zexi brand is widely recognized in Japan, primarily as a leading source of information for weddings. These matchmaking services were an extension of that brand, aimed at helping individuals find potential marriage partners. Recruit has stated that it will continue to support existing members until the final service termination dates. This move reflects a strategic shift within the company as it adapts to the evolving matchmaking market in Japan. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Wait, Zexi in Masubi is shutting down? No way!
Zexi and Masubi? You're really going?
Zexi and Masubi? Feels like more matching apps will follow.
The next topic is Crayon Shin-chan movie release postponed in China. The release of the latest Crayon Shin-chan animated film in China has been postponed. The movie, titled Iga Crayon Shin-chan Cho Kare Shakunetsu no Kasugabe Danzazu, Crayon Shin-chan the movie, Super Gorgeous, The Scorching Kasugabe Dancers, was originally scheduled to open in Chinese theaters on December 6, 2025. Chinese media reported the delay on November 17th, but an official reason for the postponement has not been provided by the authorities. However, it is widely believed to be a retaliatory measure by the Chinese government. This speculation stems from recent remarks made by Sanae Takaichi, a prominent Japanese politician and former Minister for Internal Affairs and Communications, regarding a potential Taiwan contingency. The Chinese government has strongly objected to her statements, and the postponement is seen as an expansion of countermeasures into the entertainment industry. Another Japanese film, the live-action adaptation of Hataraku Saibo, Cells at Work, which was set for a November 22, 2025 release, has also been delayed. This series of postponements has raised concerns about the impact of political tensions on cultural exchange between the two countries. The situation indicates that the strained relationship is now affecting not only political and economic spheres, but also the entertainment sector, which had previously remained relatively insulated. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
So lame. Lol.
It'll just make their own otaku cry.
Now they're scared of hot tea.
The next topic is Leonid meteor shower reaches its peak. The Leonid meteor shower is reaching its peak activity on the night of November 17, 2025. Stargazers have a great opportunity to witness this celestial event, with the best viewing times expected from late Monday night into the early morning hours of Tuesday, November 18th. The conditions for this year's shower are particularly favorable. The peak occurs just a few days before the new moon, meaning the sky will be darker without bright moonlight to interfere with the view. The radiant of the shower, the point from which the meteors appear to originate, is in the constellation Leo. This constellation rises in the eastern sky late at night and climbs higher towards dawn, which is why the best observation window is after midnight. Under ideal conditions, away from city lights, observers can expect to see about 10 to 15 meteors per hour. The Leonid meteors are debris left behind by the comet Tempel-Tuttle. As Earth passes through this trail of dust and rock, the particles burn up in our atmosphere, creating the streaks of light we see as meteors. Leonids are known for being particularly fast, entering the atmosphere at speeds of up to 71 kilometers per second, and can often leave persistent, glowing trails called trains. While the Leonid shower is famous for producing spectacular meteor storms with thousands of meteors per hour, which happen on a cycle of about 33 years, the current period is much calmer. The next major storm is not anticipated until the 2030s. For now, viewers can enjoy a reliable and beautiful display. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Whoa, it's Leonids? Weather's trash, snowing, no chance.
I want to watch, but tomorrow's tough. 2001's meteor storm was insane.
It's Leonids tomorrow, but I already saw a big shooting star just now.
The next topic is Sakana AI raises 20 billion yen in Series B funding. Sakana AI, a Japanese AI startup, has successfully raised approximately 20 billion yen in a Series B funding round. This latest financing brings the company's total funding to about 52 billion yen and boosts its post-money valuation to 400 billion yen. This achievement is reported to be a new record for both funding amount and corporate valuation among unlisted startups in Japan. The Series B round saw participation from a mix of existing and new investors. Existing investors include Mitsubishi UFJ Financial Group, Khosla Ventures, New Enterprise Associates, and Lux Capital. They were joined by new investors such as Factorial Funds, Macquarie Capital, Santander Group, and InQ Telephone, a strategic investment firm for the U.S. government. Additional investments came from Fundamo, Geodesic Capital, Empower Partners, and ST-Net, part of the Shikoku Electric Power Group. Sakana AI plans to use the new capital to develop foundational models specifically optimized for the Japanese market. The company will also focus on promoting the social implementation of AI in Japan's key industries, such as defense and manufacturing, expanding beyond its previous focus on the financial sector. Furthermore, the funds will be used to accelerate global expansion. The company aims for sustainable AI development that does not rely on massive computational resources and has developed unique technologies, including an evolutionary model merge method that combines existing open-source models. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Weird name, TBH. Oh, honest take.
At a 400 billion valuation, tech must be that strong. I'm curious.
Saw Sakana AI on Yahoo News and thought Sakana Action launched an AI. Totally different.
The next topic is Japan's GDP shrinks for first time in 6 quarters amid high prices and U.S. tariffs. Japan's economy has contracted for the first time in 6 quarters. The Cabinet Office announced on November 17, 2025, that the preliminary real gross domestic product, GDP, for the July to September quarter of 2025 decreased by 0.4% from the previous quarter. This translates to an annualized decline of 1.8%. The last time the economy experienced a negative growth was in the January to March quarter of 2024. 2 primary factors contributed to this downturn. The first is a slump in exports, largely due to high tariff measures implemented by the U.S. administration since April. This has particularly affected automotive exports, as the United States is a key market for Japanese car manufacturers. The second factor is stagnant personal consumption, which has been dampened by rising prices. Consumer spending grew by a mere 0.1%, a significant slowdown from the 0.4% increase in the previous quarter. While sales of beverages increased due to a heat wave, purchases of items like rice and cars, which continue to see price hikes, were sluggish. Furthermore, residential investment saw a sharp decline of 9.4% from the previous quarter. This is seen as a recoil from a last-minute surge in demand before new energy conservation standards for buildings became mandatory in April. On a more positive note, capital investment increased by 1.0%, marking the 4th consecutive quarter of growth. This was driven by increased spending on software and computers. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
The output gap widened. The Nikkei reported stimulus won't be enough, right?
If this keeps up, approval ratings won't hold the way they used to.
The next topic is new law to combat customer harassment to take effect in October 2026. Japan's Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare has announced that a law requiring all companies and municipalities to take measures against customer harassment, known as kasuhara, will be enforced from October 1st, 2026. This move is based on a revision of the Act on Comprehensive Promotion of Labor Measures, which was passed by the Diet in 2025 to protect workers from unreasonable demands and abusive behavior from customers. The ministry has presented a draft of guidelines to its advisory body, the Labor Policy Council, outlining specific examples of what constitutes kasuhara. These examples include actions such as forcing an employee to perform a doja, kneeling apology, threatening to post negative reviews on social media, filming employees without permission, and making excessively long phone calls or refusing to leave the premises. Other listed behaviors are demanding significant price reductions without justification, persistently asking unnecessary questions, and posting a worker's personal information on the internet. Under the new mandate, employers will be obligated to establish a clear policy against customer harassment, create a system for employees to seek advice, and ensure a prompt and appropriate response after an incident occurs. The guidelines suggest practical responses, such as not leaving a single employee to deal with a harasser, instructing employees to report to a supervisor immediately, and contacting the police in cases involving criminal acts like assault or threats. Concurrently, from the same date, companies will also be required to implement measures to prevent sexual harassment targeting job-seeking students. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Make it with penalties. Protect workers. Drafting definitions isn't hard.
Many rookies quit from customer harassment. Please enact penalty rules ASAP.
The last topic is N Party's sole Diet member, Yoshitaka Saito, announces departure from party. Yoshitaka Saito, a member of the House of Councilors, announced on November 13, 2025, that he is leaving the Protect the People from NHK party, which is commonly known as the N Party. Mr. Saito was the party's only member in the Japanese Diet, which is the national legislature of Japan. His departure means the party will no longer have any representation in the Diet. At a press conference held in Tokyo, Saito explained that his decision was due to significant differences of opinion with the party leader, Takashi Tachibana, regarding party management and its political direction. Saito specifically expressed his disagreement with the party's strategy of frequently changing its official name. He also criticized the party's focus on controversial methods designed to attract public attention, stating that he could no longer align with these approaches. Mr. Saito also revealed his plan to form a new political group named Isho, which translates to Together in Japanese. He intends to submit the official notification of his departure from the N Party and the establishment of his new group to the House of Councilors in the coming days. The loss of its sole Diet member is a major setback for the N Party, as a party's official status and its eligibility for public funding in Japan are often dependent on having representation in the Diet or meeting specific electoral performance criteria. Regarding this news, here's what people are saying online.
Then don't quit. Stand in for Tachibana and protect N Party. Running away?
Oh, wow. That party still existed.
use Tachibana as a stepping stone, huh?
Before we go, let's review the key phrases from today's news that you can use. Leverage its expertise. The tech company plans to leverage its expertise in AI to develop new, innovative products. A final resort. Filing a lawsuit should always be considered a final resort after all negotiation attempts have failed. Unprecedented surge. The city is facing an unprecedented surge in housing prices, making it difficult for young people to buy a home. Cited changes in the business environment. The retailer cited changes in the business environment, such as the rise of e-commerce, for its decision to close several stores. A retaliatory measure. The government imposed tariffs on imported goods as a retaliatory measure against the other country's trade restrictions. Conditions are particularly favorable. With low interest rates, the conditions are particularly favorable for starting a new business. Promoting the social implementation of. The government is focused on promoting the social implementation of renewable energy technologies. Contributed to this downturn. A sharp increase in oil prices significantly contributed to this downturn in the global economy. Be obligated to. Companies are obligated to provide a safe working environment for their employees. A major setback for. The star player's injury was a major setback for the team's chances of winning the championship. That's all for today's Echon News. Thank you for practicing with us today. What do you think about the news? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We'll see you tomorrow.